Welcome back to Days of Today. We will learn about the issue of Kate Roberts Brady stirring up Salem's social scene with a surprise dinner drop-in that ignites jealousy, old rivalries, and fresh suspicions about her true agenda next week. The dinner crash. Kate Roberts Brady barges into Tony DiMera's elegant night out with Anna DiMera, turning what was meant to be a romantic respite into a tense three-person tableau that crackles with unspoken history and sharp glances. Anna, dressed for a rare evening of laughter and champagne, bristles the moment Kate slides into view, reading the intrusion as a challenge rather than happenstance, and the room's energy shifts from candlelit warmth to icy formality. Tony, ever the diplomat, offers a light chuckle and a smoothing comment to break the tension, but the calculus is clear. Kate's timing feels intentional, and Anna notices every beat of it. Anna's rising jealousy. The initial frost hardens into jealousy as Anna clocks the familiar rapport between Tony and Kate. Shared years, old secrets, and the DiMera knack for flirting with danger even in polite company. Anna interprets Kate's breezy confidence as strategic, a soft power play that reasserts presence and tests boundaries, and it needles her more with each passing exchange. Though Tony tries to shrug it off with humor, Anna's instincts warn that Kate rarely steps into a scene without an objective tucked neatly behind that poised smile. Kate's possible motives. Kate's motives are layered. A public interruption sends a private message, and Salem understands the language of timing better than most. Recent events hint Kate's attention is divided, Philip's medical crisis and a brewing Kyriakis conflict. But this dinner detour suggests she's also signaling that she can walk into any room and shape the narrative, especially if Anna and Tony's harmony poses complications for larger plans. Whether she's probing Tony's loyalties, checking Anna's defenses, or simply asserting influence in the DiMera orbit, the move reads as calculated mischief with potential to escalate. Tony's balancing act. Tony, long accustomed to storms with charm at their eye, adopts a conciliatory posture, smoothing Anna's ruffled mood while refusing to make a scene that would hand Kate the satisfaction of obvious fallout. His laughter and last-minute calm are not dismissive so much as tactical. Tony knows that paying the wrong kind of attention only feeds a fire, especially when history, reputation, and DiMera politics converge at a dinner table. Still, Tony's bridge-building risks being misread by Anna as complacency, and by Kate as permission to keep pressing. The confrontation ahead. The quiet skirmish evolves into a full-on verbal confrontation as next week unfolds, with Kate and Anna finally dropping pretense and saying the unsaid in sharper tones. Expect pointed barbs about boundaries, respect, and what counts as accidental, when everyone knows how deliberate Salem's social entrances can be, especially among DiMeras and their allies. Once gloves are off, the conversation shifts from dinner etiquette to relationship fault lines, and each woman knows exactly where to land a clean hit. Is sabotage the goal? Is this sabotage or reconnaissance? Kate thrives on leverage, and an unsettled Anna could destabilize Tony's decision-making in ways that benefit Kate's broader interests, particularly if she needs DiMera pathways opened or alliances reshaped. With Kate juggling Philip's condition and related Kyriakis pressures, stirring up a bit of DiMera discord could be an efficient way to keep options open and eyes elsewhere while she maneuvers on another front. The line between personal provocation and strategic gambit blurs when Kate's involved, and that's likely by design. Echoes from recent arcs. Recent Salem beats add texture. Anna's return placed her near sensitive materials and gossip-worthy manuscripts, which reinforces her appetite for the dramatic and her investment in keeping Tony's focus squarely at home. Meanwhile, Kate's hospital rounds, tense updates about Philip, and a mislaid manuscript underscore that her life is a live wire. Still, she finds time to drop into dinners that don't include her name on the reservation, which raises eyebrows about priorities. When personal crises collide with public gestures, a seasoned operator like Kate often uses one theater to distract from another. Stakes for Tony and Anna. For Tony and Anna, the stakes are emotional as much as political. A long-running bond can weather many storms, but jealousy corrodes in small, corrosive increments if not acknowledged and disarmed. Tony's choice to defuse rather than confront may preserve the evening but risks leaving Anna feeling unheard. And that's the exact vacuum a provocateur like Kate can exploit over time. If Anna demands firmer boundaries and Tony delivers them publicly, the dinner crash becomes a one-off. If not, the door stays cracked for repeat performances. What comes next? Look for fallout in two directions. Anna may press Tony to draw a bright line with Kate, while Kate tests whether the confrontation rattled them enough to give her leverage in future moves. Any hint that Tony hesitated to defend Anna will be replayed in the days ahead by friends, rivals, and the rumor mill that powers Salem's daily weather report. And if Kate's larger game involves Kiriaki's business or a manuscript scandal spilling into DiMera corridors, tonight's sparks could be the match for a wider blaze. Bottom line, Kate crashing the dinner is more than rude timing. It's a calculated ripple sent across the DiMera pond to measure reactions, trigger jealousy, and test where loyalties truly sit when champagne glasses clink and old flames hover near the table. Anna's jealousy is real, Tony's calm is strategic, and Kate's smile hides 100 moving parts that may converge in the week ahead, especially as hospital-side dramas and manuscript mischief feed into salacious whispers and power plays. Whether this becomes a short-lived squall or the first salvo in a longer campaign depends on what Anna and Tony do next, and how determined Kate is to keep stirring the pot in public view. Days of Our Lives. Monday's drama unfolds Gwen's pain, Gabi's game, and Salem's brewing storm. Welcome back to Days of Our Lives, where every Monday brings not just another chapter in Salem's history, but a brand new tangle of emotions, betrayals, and power plays. The upcoming episode promises to be one filled with raw honesty, hidden schemes, and the kind of twists that only Salem can deliver. For those of us who have watched this show for years, sometimes decades, this is one of those episodes where every word, every look, and every suspicion carries weight. Let us take a closer look at what's coming and what it really means for these characters we've grown to know so well. Gwen opens her heart and demands EJ listen. The episode begins with Gwen, a woman often caught between her fiery temper and her deep, unfulfilled longing for stability. On Monday, Gwen will pour out her heart to EJ DiMera, one of the most calculating and powerful figures in Salem. For Gwen, this is not a casual chat. It is an eruption of feelings that she has bottled up for far too long. Gwen's life has been a cycle of betrayals, half-truths, and desperate attempts to carve out a place for herself in a world that rarely seems to welcome her. This emotional outpouring to EJ is about more than her current frustrations. It's about her search for validation. She needs someone to listen, truly listen, and EJ, whether he likes it or not, will be the one she corners. The scene promises to be heavy with drama. EJ is not known for his patience, but he is a man who thrives on control and information. Gwen's confessions, complaints, and wounded pride could be an inconvenience for him. Or, as many longtime viewers suspect, he might find a way to twist her vulnerability into something that benefits his own agenda. The question becomes, will EJ offer genuine advice? Or will he use Gwen's pain as another pawn in his never-ending game of power? Gabi's strategy, but a dangerous oversight. Meanwhile, across Salem, Gabi Hernandez is once again playing the role she knows best, the strategist. Gabi is clever, ambitious, and almost always ready to make bold moves that others would shy away from. On Monday, she will once again find herself thinking several steps ahead, convinced that she has the upper hand in her ongoing struggles for influence. But here lies the danger. When one is too confident, mistakes are inevitable. Gabi believes she is untouchable, that her cleverness shields her from suspicion. Yet this week, her carefully laid plans may begin to unravel. Why? Because Xander Cook is about to discover the secret bug she planted in his office. This single discovery could undo weeks of plotting. For Gabi, knowledge is power, and she relies on gathering information in order to outmaneuver her opponents. But when that information pipeline is exposed, the hunter quickly becomes the hunted. The bug that blows up Salem. The planted bug will become the focal point of Monday's episode. Once Xander realizes someone has been eavesdropping in his private space, he is not going to let the matter rest quietly. Xander, after all, is not a man who forgives easily. He thrives on confrontation, and the idea that someone has been spying on him will only fuel his fiery temper. Alongside him, Philip Kyriakis will also be swept into this discovery. Philip, with his complicated history of schemes, rivalries, and bruised pride, will not take kindly to being made a fool of either. The two men together, Philip and Xander, will be united in their fury. Their first challenge will be identifying the culprit. In Salem, there is no shortage of suspects when it comes to dirty tricks and hidden devices. But Gabby, with her reputation for boldness and cunning, will naturally rise to the top of the list. Gabby in the crosshairs. If Philip and Xander do decide that Gabby is behind the bug, the fallout could be enormous. Gabby has always been a fighter, but she also knows that being caught red-handed can shift alliances in an instant. Longtime viewers will recognize this as one of Salem's repeating themes. Just when a character believes they are several steps ahead, they suddenly find themselves cornered. Gabby, for all her brilliance, may have underestimated the combined wrath of Philip and Xander. And when those two men decide to retaliate, the consequences can be both unpredictable and devastating. There is also a rich irony here. Gabby often sees herself as the one manipulating others, pulling strings while her rivals scramble to catch up. Yet, in this situation, she may discover that she was the one being maneuvered into a trap all along. Salem's endless chess game. The beauty of Days of Our Lives lies in the way it mirrors a chessboard. Every character a piece, every decision a move, and every scheme a risk that could lead to victory or total collapse. Monday's episode captures that spirit perfectly. Gwen's tearful outpouring to EJ is a personal, emotional move. She is making herself vulnerable, and in doing so, she risks either finding the comfort she longs for or becoming another tool in EJ's intricate web. At the same time, Gabby's reliance on strategy and underhanded tricks is her move across the board. But like any chess player who leans too heavily on one tactic, she risks being predictable. Once discovered, her scheme could be turned against her. And then there are Philip and Xander, two men who know what it's like to be underestimated and betrayed. Their discovery of the bug transforms them into the counterattackers, poised to strike back with force. What it means for viewers. For longtime fans, Monday's episode is not just about who planted a bug or who confided in whom. It is about the larger dance of Salem life, the way trust is constantly broken and rebuilt, the way ambition leads to downfall, and the way even the strongest characters are vulnerable when they least expect it. It is also a reminder of why we keep coming back to Days of Our Lives. The show is more than a soap opera. It is a living, breathing tapestry of human emotions. It asks us to reflect on loyalty, deceit, forgiveness, and the eternal struggle for power. Watching Gwen break down before EJ, or Gabby scramble as her secrets threaten to come to light, reminds us of our own struggles with honesty, pride, and control.